Hello, welcome back to Capitalism 2. Now, if you recall the last episode, we promised that we'd get into media. So let's load up the game, and one thing I noticed is the volume's actually not too loud on the music, so we can turn it back on. Just get the full musical experience. It's louder for me than it is for you, so I'll just bear with it. Hopefully the sound effects... I don't think this controls the music, just the sound effects. Let's try. Oh gosh. It's very loud to me. It's very loud for me. Hold on. No way. It's still loud. Alright. So, as we saw from last time, we had plenty of credit limit, but not quite enough to make a purchase for the newspapers yet. So if we look for firms for sale in all these cities, what we're going to go for is this newspaper, which costs 103 million. These cost 181 million for radio stations thereabouts. And TV stations are the most expensive. Now, if I go to this newspaper, it is a pretty bad newspaper, so I'm actually going to wait for other newspapers to come aboard. And what we're focusing on here is, for instance, if we go to beds, you'll see the brand influence is only 14% in Shenyang, and 24% for wallets, 19 here. In other towns, it's a little bit more. Just a little bit. Kingston seems to be the most concerned about brand, so if we can buy a Kingston newspaper, that would be ideal. Philadelphia, also pretty good. And so in the firm summary report, if I go back to Kingston, there's only a TV station available, but that costs $300 million, so we may just wait. In the meantime, we're going to launch our last product line, which is perfumes. For perfumes, you will see, I pressed O instead of P. Give me one moment. Alright, trying again. Sorry for the interruption. And we're live again, I believe. Okay, so what I was saying before is perfume requires glass and chemical minerals. It's also a very big area for profits. Now, glass, as we saw before, real quick, you can see the perfume. Only 35% is on raw material tech, so that's why we started researching perfume technology. And of the 100%, 30% is actually the mineral quality. And glass, as we saw before, if we type glass, it's just silica. And since there's only 5% of perfume, we don't really need very good silica. So for instance, this excellent silica here, that costs 16 million, I'm not gonna go for it. This is just a waste of money. This is kind of a noob trap. It's like, oh, I've got such great quality sand, I can make really good glass in which to put perfume. No, that's not what we want to do. So we're eventually going to want silica either here. This is good, pretty cheap. I'm just looking for the cheapest available. There we go. That's a good candidate. Philadelphia silica. Either way though, now I'm just looking for the reserve quantity. This is 61. This is also 61. Quality is a little better, but again, it's such a little difference, small difference. I don't care. Let's check Kingston as well. Again, very good quality silica. Don't care. I mean, it's dirt. Finally, here the silica. Oh, the reserve level is a little lower, and again, the salary level is pretty high. So it looks like we're gonna buy this Philadelphia silica, and we'll just go with the cheaper one. It costs about $1 million, and this is actually even lower quality than this silica. Oh, actually, a little bit higher quality and higher reserve. But yeah, we'll put the silica here and then import dirt to China in which to make glass. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. Because if we recall, in China we actually do have good chemical minerals in terms of reserve quality. And if we look here, in order to mine, mines actually cost 5 million to set up and an additional 1 million. So we're gonna have to borrow money again. That's our biggest thing. So because I need 2 mines, right, that's gonna cost like 15 million. So I'm actually gonna let the clock run a little bit. Run a few days. Got $2 million in a few days. So I'll just borrow. Here I'm just making sure that we're not on a downward trend in profits. So I'll borrow 14 million. We can always borrow more if needed. So as we discussed, we're gonna put our silica factory, or sorry, the silica mine here in Philadelphia. Land price all the same. Silica, and here we're going to mine chemical minerals. Oh, not enough cash, so we'll borrow a little more. Alright, and we're out of money again. So chemical minerals are happening. So we're gonna borrow money. Now, our factory's only gonna be making glass, and since we're only making perfume, and which doesn't require that much glass, I'm gonna actually build a medium factory instead of a large one. So again, borrow more money. Because we're gonna need another factory for the actual perfume. So our large factory for the perfume, let me just see where we want to place it. Probably around here. Here it is, city center again. So as I scout out the large factory, it looks like we can put it here, no problem. I may just pay a little more to place it here. And so the medium factory, if you recall, it's shipping internationally, so it doesn't matter where I place it. I just want it near this future factory here. I'll put our glass factory right here. 43,200 is pretty low. See that? Interesting. I'm just gonna go with the bed thing again. Our leather wallet, actually. So if you recall, I did this setup just so we could build an inventory. So let's buy some silica from Philadelphia. Now once we have glass, we'll start making perfume from the other factory. You can see the cost by importing this is actually pretty expensive. But we'll manage. It's better than importing glass, so we'll increase the price so the factory make somewhat of a profit. And next we put our large factory to make the perfume. Wanted it around here. There we go. Now, since perfume takes 2 ingredients, glass and something else, I'm going to, and it's going to sell very quickly. I'm not going to use this setup. I'm actually going to take one for wine, where on one side you have glass, and instead of grapes, we're going to be using chemical minerals. So, chemical minerals here, glass here. It's actually I should have looked at this before. We'll use this for now. It is better glass. I'm a dummy. We didn't even need that silica at all. So let's idle these factories. Until this shifts into something else. So yeah, let's manufacture some perfume. And once again, perfume is sold in a drugstore or cosmetic store, so I'm actually going to put a drugstore up. Or sorry, a cosmetic store. And we'll build it around here. Perfume, perfume, perfume. And I want it in every single city. So, let's, in Kingston, let's put them here. Borrow some more money. And one more thing is Philadelphia. I'm gonna try to stop mining. Oh, there's no way to stop mining. That's kind of what they do. Alright. That was a oopsie. Eventually, the port's going to be greedy and stop supplying the silica. But yeah, that was a rookie mistake. You should always check to see if the components are available. What did I do here? Oh, right. I wanted to stop manufacturing glass here. It's the wrong thing. Okay. So back to Kingston. Purchase perfume in LA, same thing. We can place it anywhere now. So we'll just place it on this side. Why not? Perfume. Sell perfume. And finally Philadelphia, same thing. Well, I'll just put it here. Looks like we need a little bit more money. Okay, so everyone's selling perfume now, so let's adjust the prices. Here, we'll cut it to 40 quality. Here, cut it to 44 quality. Or cut the price down to boost it up, boost up the quality. Wow, so Philadelphia, I actually have to cut it to 49. So it looks like we're losing a lot of money, but that's because the price is pretty cheap. So if we go back to the supplier, right, you can see it only costs us 24 cents to make, even though the glass may be expensive. So why don't we make this at $6? Huge profit. Again, this is why it's such a good margin business. In the game, just take chemical minerals, shove it in some glass, add a factory, and you've got perfume. Good. In fact, it's going to be so profitable, I'm going to make a second factory here. So instead of and this factory, I'll actually take this silica. Or this glass. So if we go back to the perfume setup, after borrowing a little bit more money, I'm going to have an export factory. This factory is going to be purely for exporting, so putting it anywhere like here is fine, because this is going to export. So let's see if there's a good template for perfume. Again, 2 products. So let's actually do the leather wallet thing again. Right. So one source of glass will be the seaport. The other source of glass I will take my factory, just so this is still producing. You can see the overall quality. My glass is terrible compared to the seaport for now. But suddenly there may be no choice in the future if suddenly the supplies stop. So this is the this is my glass, and here's a seaport glass. And chemical minerals, there's only one. So train up. And once this starts producing perfume, which again costs like 26 bucks. 666, good number. Good number. We're gonna go back to LA and just redirect some of these nodes to the other perfume center. So this supplier. Same thing for Philadelphia. And Kingston. A lot of times I'll actually have 3 perfume factories. We'll let the clock run a bit, pay off a bit of the loan. Borrowed a lot to set up our perfume. Okay, so let's look at the product line again. And so, product summary. We're gaining market share in all these places. And since in all these places... Oh, okay. You can see here, finally, the supply of perfume is overwhelming demand, so it's going the other way. So these factories should be okay soon enough. Let's go back here, look at the other towns. That's good. Alright, so not going to build another factory for now. But negative. Borrow. gonna let time flow a little more. Oh, this is the bane of my existence. Volatility. Alright, one thing I'm going to check again is to see if anything else is on sale. So if I go to the firm summaries, we will see no newspapers. It's not ideal. But for the sake of illustration, I may just buy it. So let's just pay back our loan and then suddenly borrow a lot of money. Have enough. You know what? I'm gonna borrow up to my credit limit and buy that newspaper. Alright, so what you can do once you buy a newspaper is as follows. So first things first, under firms for sale, right? Let's go to all. We scroll down to this newspaper. The government usually doesn't negotiate, so if I say I'll pay this much, they don't want to sell it. The price you see is the price you pay. So I'll pay this much for this newspaper. And right now, they've got a lot of local advertisers advertising. It's very unprofitable, and it doesn't have a lot of market share. But that's okay, so we're going to concentrate on product development. We'll actually raise the price of advertising to drive some of the local competitors out. And what I can do now is in every one of my stores, so what is this? My firm, okay. Add an advertising unit, which only costs $5,000 to set up. And what this is when you have an advertising unit, you can link it to a media platform. You can see that the newspaper has the lowest rating points, which is pretty bad. But this will grow over time as you invest in the newspaper, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to select this media. And this is only selling beds, so I have one link. And instead of spending $100,000 a month, I'm going to spend $500,000 a month just to advertise bed and Shenyang. Now I'm okay with this because that money's coming directly to me. There's no split in profits once it gets to the newspaper. That's just going back to the house. But this just will blast the airwaves with bed advertisements. And we'll do that for all of our products. It would have been more powerful to get the radio station or television station, but we just didn't have the money for it. I think that's everyone. Just gonna make sure they're all linked together. Oh, exactly. So, gotta make sure it's actually linked to something, otherwise that doesn't know what to advertise for. Should be those 4 products. One way to check is, again, go to the product summary report. And then any of these product details, if I go to Shenyang, we can go here. It's just these 4 products. So I'm going to raise the speed a little bit. Pay back a little of the loan. And what you'll notice is, suddenly, in product detail, we're increasing our branding, which is increasing our overall attractiveness, which means we can increase our pricing. And so that's the investment we're doing in the media. So for beds, because supply is outstripping demand already, we know we can increase the price a bit. Next product. That's annoying. Same thing here. We can increase our price already. And then perfume. Not going to increase the price yet. Finally, socks. Shortage of socks. Okay, so now I'm just going to let it run and repay the loans as they come in. Repay some loans. Wow. Our interest rate has gone down to 10%. I feel like there's some RNG factor into the game for that. Oh. Come on. Alright, let's pause it just to see what the effect of the newspaper investment was. You can see suddenly the newspaper is profitable because we're advertising in it. We can even increase the price a little more because that'll squeeze the local advertisers. You see the white section is very small now. That means there's very little advertising capacity left. So, and already our content quality is increasing since we're doing maximum investment for that. And our market share will increase over time with that content investment. And back to the product report, let's see what the effect has been. So you can see, even though in Cheyenne, the brand influence is very little, it's a minor concern compared to price, it does have an impact. So, for instance, for beds, we can increase the price a little more now. We had already increased the prices for some of these products, and perfumes in particular, brand is equal to price, so we can increase it by quite a bit and make more profits. And when you're making perfumes and anything that does have a high brand weight, it's very good to start thinking about buying the media for that. So our goal now is to buy media in each of these cities as we pay down their loan, as they become available. Any more newspapers yet? No, nothing yet. Typically in a recession, there will be more things available, but so maybe Kingston will be next. For now, we'll just run the clock, repay their loan, wait till we have another 100 million or so. So this is a slower phase of the game. We could branch out into more sectors, of course, but right now it's just for illustration of this episode. We're going to actually focus on the media. So you may want to skip ahead for this tedious loan repayment timeline. And we're a little over 2 years into the game now. Oh. Unless this is an enjoyable experience for you to see me having to borrow money repeatedly. All I'm doing here is repaying, but hopefully repaying, until I have enough credit limit to buy a potential another newspaper. And once that happens, okay. Cycles though. Gonna pause again just to check out how the media's development's gone. And also, if the volume is too loud on the music, we'll just turn it off again in the next episode, but thought we'd try. So product summary, leather wallets. They match our price here. So really want something in Cheyenne to buy. Great, so you can see our brand's at 19, almost matching the local brand quality. So we can once again raise our prices for a lot of our products. Oops. Here, perfume. You can see how much we can increase prices just by the power of advertising. Socks, less so, but still, we're raising the price of our socks. I think there's a shortage, right? Oh, that's just the wool thing I was talking about. Alright. Go to the supplier. Well, that's fine. Looks like there's some supplies. Sorry, got distracted about this sock predicament. And our last thing was beds. So we're fine. Let's also see if we have enough for... This radio station is going to cost $157. Because the newspaper is not available yet, we may just have that target. When I have a credit limit of about 100 million again, I will try to go to see if there's a newspaper available. For now, we're just repaying the loan. Nothing to see here. Oh, oops, did I accidentally pause it something? So, a year and a half in now. Got our newspaper. Looks like summer months are not good for me. Maybe it's the socks are not being sold or something. Alright, let's do a quick check. It's always good now and again to go to your product summary report to make sure your sales are not declining, which they are for socks, but I think that's a supply issue rather than demand. If you look at all cities, yeah, looks like it's a supply issue. Although, what is going on with our Los Angeles socks? I would decrease the price, but it looks like we just don't have any sock supplies. You know what? We forgot to train the sock factory. We're gonna build another sock factory. Do we have a sock factory? I thought we had a sock factory in Kingston, though. Right? Yeah. Dare we build more sock factories? Alright, I'm gonna build another Kingston sock factory. So we'll let it run. Since we're paying debt, I'm gonna use the proceeds from this to build a sock factory. Socks. This one I'm not gonna use an inventory node. It's gonna be straight up sock selling. Alright, link, wool, wool, wool. Something happened, aluminum deposit, okay. Yeah, we might want to turn the sound effects up a little more actually, because this isn't affecting the music sound. Got socks again, so in LA, let's link it to the Kingston socks. So that should help with that issue. So it looks like 3 of them were from that sock factory. Let's just link it here. To do one. Philly, we'll do the same thing. And really, while I was repaying loans, I should have checked this earlier, but it's okay. And then, of course, Kingston. Although I feel like this is a foreign sock seller, so we'll just see what happens in the supply and demand. Yeah. And let's just verify that our socks revenue is going up, which it is again. Alright, let's keep repaying our loans. Come on. Alright. Repay. Alright. We're almost at the... We're almost at the credit limit where we can buy another newspaper if it's on sale. Or for sale. Unfortunately, they will never be on sale unless there's a recession. Alright. So let's pause the game real briefly and see if there's any more newspapers for sale. Especially we're concerned about Kingston, since we are competing in leather wallets there. Kingston. Alright, see? There's a newspaper for sale now. And it's actually got better market share. So it's 127. I will pay that much once I get the money for it. So let's just let time pass it again. And once this goes to 127, I will... buy that newspaper. Alright, we have enough. But I'm just gonna let it... We don't want to be totally at the credit limit because we'll go broke. Alright, so this is enough. Let's max out our borrowing and buy the Kingston newspaper. Alright, I will pay this much, good sir. And I will increase the prices a lot, drive out the local competitors, have a lot of content development. Oh, well, won't raise it too much for now. Is there a recession here? Yeah, nice. Well, somewhat nice. That lowered the price of the newspaper a little bit, which is why it was nice. So we're going to do the same exercise here. Add advertising nodes, link it to our products. And so, for instance, when we look here, the competitors, right, they're advertising to TV, but they don't own this, so they're actually spending their own money and not paying themselves for advertising. Like, who does that? Apparently these guys. Whereas we will advertise to our newspaper that we own. The rating points are more for the TV, but hey, we're constrained by money, right? This is not actually worth it early on in your first product, both because of the cost as well as you actually won't be profitable. I've tested it out. Beds, started with beds with and without advertising. You just lose lots of money if you do advertising from the start. So it's much better to just buy an advertiser once you have enough profitability. And basically you can see from our annual profits, it's essentially a year of profits buys us a newspaper. So yeah, we'll just go down the line. Look at the firm view, just to make sure we can identify all our stores. I'm going to take the training down since we're not selling enough beds. Alright, and one other way to keep track of it is in your corporate detail report, you can see where you're advertising, and you can see in each of the 4 segments we're in, we are advertising in all of these places. So I can let the speed run again, I can repay some of these loans. Interest rates dropped again. And yeah, we'll just start repaying for more advertising purchases, media purchases, so we can advertise in more cities. This always happens. Alright, we're gonna pause the game, and now we can raise prices in Kingston. For socks? For beds? For wallets, you can see, they actually have a spectacular brand. But we'll just do that. and for Perfume, which is very much a brand product. So let's do that. Continue to repay some loans. And we're going to end this episode. It's going to be a shorter one, but you can see the idea behind the media. Once I have the prices more stabilized, so the ratings have gone up in Kingston. You can see. Competing on price well now. And so this strategy will also let you take a marginally profitable business to very profitable. Huh. So he's matched. So yeah, in our next episode, we will establish a headquarters, do a little more R&D, and evaluate what other areas to branch into, and of course, fiddle with this tedious loan thing. But yeah, thanks for watching for now. I'm gonna just end it go to the end of February. March 1st. Perfect. So, let's do a quick overview of where we are. Let's save the game. You can see another 2 years, year and a half has passed. And at the end of episode 3, we are in year 3, trying to do kind of a year for now per episode. And we have about 117 million in profits. If we look at our corporate summary, everyone else is still losing money. Oh, no, some of them are making money, which is good. We're in this business to make money. And let's take a look. So, Quest and Shining Stars are profitable at this point. So, Quest, you are in shampoo. Oh, okay, good for you. Your shampoo is finally profitable. And he's a toy racing car guy. Toy racing cars are purely plastic and electronics. So, good for him. I don't know. It's a lot of production technology, so he's going to have those monopoly profits for a while, because we're by no means going to compete here. Anyway, one last thing we're going to do is just look at everyone's product lines to see if anyone's competing. So leather brief, this guy still got nothing. These guys are just scared of doing business. This is like, I was going to say me holding on to cash, not wanting to invest in stocks, and then suddenly putting it in the stock market, and coronavirus comes. So I feel you, Blue Spade and Capital Corp. Alright. Toy Racing Cars, Fat Group. Leather Wallets, they're making 13 million and revenue 7 million, so they are making a lot less than us because they're only in one city. And of course, they're also losing money, right? Fat Group. So they're having trouble investing more in other cities. Leather bags. Fat Group's actually in a lot of leather products, so we'll go in there later. So yeah, now after looking, we can see a lot of the other leather products are being competed in. So let's look at if they're investing into actual tech for it. Oops. Sometimes hotkeys won't work. I pressed L and it went to the load screen. So they're not actually investing too much in these products yet. So in the next episode, we will, one, build a headquarters, and then two, invest in more technology, as well as consolidate media. So really, it's kind of will be a cleanup episode for now. We will end the episode, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.